Hey, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We had a little bit of an update last week to the WWE Evolution show that might make us sort of look at that pay-per-view card that was released about a month ago, basically with all the list of matches that was going to happen at WWE's Evolution. We had a little bit of a change. Trish Stratus and Alexa Bliss, their singles match that was being pushed for the Evolution show has now been turned into a tag match. Last week on Monday Night Raw, Trish Stratus is going to be teaming up with Lita. Lita and Mickie James had sort of been rumored to be having their own singles matches. Definitely, in my mind, Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss was a mixing of sort of, I guess you can say, the best of today against the best of yesterday. Trish Stratus at one point in WWE was just sort of eye candy, and then she really worked at what she did, and in my opinion, she became one of the best wrestlers that WWE had on the women's roster at the time, having good matches, pretty much almost whenever she had a match against anybody on the roster. And Alexa Bliss is somebody that I don't really put as one of the best wrestlers that there is in WWE, but very entertaining. And when you look at the roster that's out there today, Alexa Bliss has been the champion on Raw. She's been the champion on SmackDown. I think she's had 5 championship reigns and only one of them was one of those sort of cheap or I guess you can say be the champion today, lose it tomorrow, and then just sort of win it back the day after kind of reigns. And honestly, in my opinion, she's been dominative on Monday Night Raw as well as on SmackDown. And when you look back at her NXT time, it didn't really make sense. Honestly, in my opinion, the adding of Lita and Mickie James to their match is pretty exciting. Trish Stratus and Lita, they tour the country doing all of those sort of fan autograph and picture shows, sort of using their rivalry and their friendship as a way to bring fans in. I forget what they call themselves. It's like Team Friendship or something like that, honestly, in my opinion. But they do a lot of things like that. But mixing Mickie James into the fray, only praise on the whole Mickie James versus Trish Stratus run that they used to hype up their match at WrestleMania, where Mickie James would beat Trish for the Women's Championship. That was WrestleMania 22. Honestly, like 21 I can get pretty good, but like 22 and 23 is a lot like WrestleMania 6 and WrestleMania 7. For some reason in my mind, when I'm trying to recite the matches that go down on that, I always sort of mix those ones up in my mind. I know the 22 and 23 is mostly because of the fact that I wasn't really fully watching wrestling at that time, and really realizing what was going down. I would watch it, but I didn't really care. 6 and 7 is just because I'm getting freaking old, guys. That's probably honestly the best way to put it. Bliss and Mickie James are honestly a really good team on Monday Night Raw today. I like the fact that we get to see Mickie. Honestly, in my opinion, Mickie James was the best looking chick on the show on Monday Night Raw. She looked hot as hell. She has been coming out routinely being one of the hottest chicks on the show, but there was no doubt in my mind that Mickie stole last week. She was hot, but there's no way in the world that Stratus and Lita are losing at the Evolution show. This is sort of going to be the tip of the hat to the past of WWE for all of the workers that sort of had to put up with everything that went down in the past, where basically they were told to have really good promos and have really good lead-ups to their matches, and then even on pay-per-view nights, being come to and be like, well, you're going to be wrestling in the death spot, which is right before the main event. And just so you know, some other matches on the show went long. We're going to give your match 3 minutes. Figure it out. There's nothing worse than WrestleMania 26. Go back and watch this women's tag match, which I believe is a 4-on-4, 8-woman tag, where every single woman is asked to hit her finisher, and for Vicky Guerrero to hit the Frog Star for the win in less than 2 minutes. You got to be kidding me, guys. So we'll see what happens at Evolution. I think that's pretty cool that they made this this match into one. Dave Meltzer came out and said that this was always the plan. It's just not the plan that they were putting out there on TV, because they really thought that Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss was going to be a match that people really clamored for and wanted to see how they were going to sell tickets, for the show. I don't know about that one, but that guy's normally right at just about everything he ever, reports on. So if he says it, it must be true. So peace out, guys. I'll see you guys down the road.